Hi, I'm Rob Law. I'm director of Magmatic and the inventor of the Trunki ride-on suitcase. This is the mothership where we all work. There's a team of 30-odd strong here, busy beavering away, making the latest, greatest inventions to facilitate the perfect journey for children and families.
So I wouldn't buy it, I wouldn't invest in the company, so I've no interest in this at all, so I'm going to declare myself out.
So we've launched a lot of products over the last 7 years of trading. We're exporting to 97 countries. We've won over 85 awards for our business, have PR all over the world, and the business has just been valued at £12 million.
Your company is currently worthless. I'm out.
So it all began with me in my bedroom 7 years ago.
And it drives me mad that we actually waste our time with these things. I too am out.
We've just bought the factory in the UK that makes our ride-on suitcases, and we're about to launch a whole range of new travel products.
This hooks are rubbish.
Yeah, I didn't design that, I'm afraid.
No, but they are rubbish.
Yeah.
And in addition to being rubbish, when I pulled it, that happened. So why did that happen?
Running a business is very tough, and you've really got to never give up and keep fighting. But I learned to fight through having to cope with my condition of cystic fibrosis, and I also learned very early on how precious life is. I came up with the idea for the Trunki ride-on suitcase probably about 15 years ago. I entered a national luggage design competition while I was at university. I ended up winning the competition in 1998, and the judges actually took me aside and said, you know what, Rob, you've got quite a commercial idea here, maybe you should try and license it to a manufacturer. So I thought, sounds like a good idea. So we very quickly signed a global licensing deal for them to take it to market. So I was hoping to retire early on my big royalty checks I was expecting to roll in. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen. The company I licensed it to only sold the product to a company in Saudi Arabia. Trunki never got to the UK, never hit Europe or the US, and I was always quite disappointed that they'd never really made much more effort. 3 years later, they actually went bust. So despite the UK company going bust, there was still a factory in China that could make them. So I placed my first order with this factory. We're all waiting to kick this new business venture off, and it was about to get an awful lot worse. Early January, I found out the factory in China had indeed gone bust. So we managed to pull our tooling out of the factory, set it up in a new factory pretty quickly, and we were up and running again. A few weeks later, the 5th of May 2006, the first container of 1,600 Terrance and Trixies arrived in Avonmouth, and Magmatic officially started trading. We were starting to get some great traction in the press, we were starting to win some awards, we started to export, and then you wouldn't believe what happened next.
Tonight, condition critical. Britain and the US remain on high alert. So how close were we to the worst outrage of all?
A ban on hand luggage. Can you imagine? The worst possible thing that we could have faced was a ban on the very product we were trying to sell.
The alleged aim was clear: to smuggle liquid bombs in hand luggage onto UK planes bound for America.
Fortunately, the hand luggage ban didn't last forever. It lasted for the summer, which really hurt us, but we got through it, it was lifted, and then I was faced with an opportunity to actually take the Trunkies on Dragon's Den. I thought, well, it's going to be some great marketing and I really need the money. What could possibly go wrong?
You've got problems with the product. You've got
Problems that can be solved.
Yeah, but you shouldn't come here with problems.
You've got a brand name. What else have you got?
I wouldn't buy it.
It was actually a really surreal experience, seeing things crumbling away in front of you, and no matter what you said, you couldn't pull it back. I remember very clearly sat in a pub later that day with a friend of mine, just thinking, oh my God, I've ruined my business. And so I put a survey on my website to try and get some consumer feedback, so I thought I'd get some web traffic. That night we had over 2,000 people fill in our online survey with fantastic positive words of support. We sold a shed load, and it was a real turning point in the business. I always choke up a bit thinking back. Growing up, I realised quite early on, being fully aware of my condition, I couldn't be an astronaut, I couldn't be a soldier, I couldn't be all those things you dreamed of being as a young child. So I had to come to terms quite early on that my my innings might not be quite as long as my peers. I was actually born a twin. My sister also suffered from cystic fibrosis. We made it to 15 together, and sadly she passed away after an extra years of life after heart and lung transplant. It was a huge tragedy for our family, but I learned the most important lesson I think anyone can learn, and that is that life is short. So through that tragedy, I promised myself I would not let my condition, the disease that cystic fibrosis, beat me. And that's been one of the strongest drivers I have that drives me forward and makes me strive to achieve things and overcome the challenges I faced along the way, not least dealing with my condition, but also running the business.
Okay, well, I'm out. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Richard.
Also, I'm going to declare myself out.
Does everybody think we're fools?
£1 million for a business that doesn't exist.
Rob is a total inspiration. He will never give up, and I'm in.
It's not just about having a great idea, it's having the guts to see it through. Rob has that, and I'm in.
I'm really excited about the future of the business, and I'm in.
Me too.
Rob doesn't let anything stand in his way, so I'm totally in.
Cystic fibrosis is not going to stop me.